Well, good morning, everybody. I figured I would get started right away in the morning because it's going to be a squelcher today. It's supposed to be looking at 99 degrees, so birds have already been done. Thankfully, they have waters and food, so they are good to go. Grease, I am not doing your ball. Do your own ball. He's literally sitting next to me with his ball up against my leg, holding it with his mouth and waiting for me to grab it to throw for him, but I'm not doing it. So, all right, I grabbed my list that shows per row, and it looks like there's 25 rows. So I was kind of questioning that yesterday. So there's 25 rows, and you'll have to excuse the dogs because they are definitely in hyper play mode this morning. So if they're bouncing around, that's why. So I need to kind of cross off, not really cross off, but check off my list here and put how many of each that I've done so far per the rows. Obviously, with the first row, that's completely done. Not stitched together. That's coming. Working on that. We'll be working on that today because with it being a scorcher, I will be putting that row together. And I'll keep the content, but I'll probably be sitting in my living room where it is much cooler than being outside in a 99 degree weather. So, for row 2, it says I need a 14 green and, oh, why did I write 3? Oh, maybe because, let's see here. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need 7 black, and I've done 4, so I need 3. I have 3 left. So, anyways, so I need to do 3 of these, and then it will be 2 green today. And then the next one will be, I'll have to work on 3 colors. So I will have white to add into the mix. Ouch, my finger is so mad right now. I cannot wait till my finger is healed, which I don't know how long that's going to take because it was a deep cut. So, I have edited. What was it? Excuse me 1 second. I have edited another video. So, that will be going up today. I am missing a dog. Bolt. I can tell by the rattle of his, there it is, of his collar. So I can tell when he's not by his brothers. So anyways, yeah, so the next time I got to do this, I will have 10 green, 7 white, and 4 black that I have to do. And that's obviously going to be spread within a few days just because I'm not going to do 21 squares in a day. So, and dogs are hyper. So anyways, I'm excited today. I get my watch back. Thanks, boys. Yep, early. Can't think already. Boys, come on. Hey. So I had to buy a replacement watch band for my watch. I have a smartwatch for Androids. And I told my husband, enough, I said. I told my husband I wanted to have a chicken band for my watch this time because I didn't want a plain one. And so I found one, and I'm so excited. They claimed it was supposed to be here tomorrow, but it's actually out for delivery today. So I'm so super excited. And then Bolt's collar. So he's right now wearing Axel's collar. His collar will be here by the end of the week. That's the what it says. It says it was shipped, so hopefully sooner rather than later that we'll get it. Okay, that's enough. Hang on. Okay, sorry about that. So the boys like to sound sometimes super aggressive, and to avoid sounding super aggressive, I usually tend to get in the middle of it. And I don't know if you heard that, but that was my middle one in his pool, and he was splashing water because he loves to do that. So anyways, so today I'm going to do 3 black and 2 green squares for row 2. So I will be back when I am done with this one, and I will have the next video, by the way, uploaded to YouTube very, very, very shortly. I just am trying to get this started and 5 squares done for the day. So anyways, I will be back when this is done. All right, so square 1 of the day done. So now I have 2 more of the black and then 2 of my green. So I think I'm gonna switch it up just a little bit here. I'm gonna do 1 black, 1 green, 1 black, 1 green, 1 black. Just to kind of give it a little different something or other, you know. Change it up, keep it fresh. It's just how it works. Thankfully, the boys have settled down temporarily. I am working on editing. I just uploaded day 3 because I believe I'm on day 6, but I have the videos all prepped in my phone. It's just a matter of, what do you call it? Of course, I said that the dogs were going to chill, and nah. Okay, Grease. Stop. I have all the videos. It's just a matter of editing them and getting them posted. So, I'm working on that while I'm working on squares. So, I'm going to get this done, and when I am done with this square, I will come back. So, I'll see you in just a little bit. Okay, finishing up this square. So, square number 2. Get that cut. Oh, I took the Band-Aid off my finger because I felt like it was giving more pressure than it needed to. Oh, I just hit it. Oh, sorry. Facial expression's not always nice. Yeah, that didn't feel good. So, that makes 2 for the day. And now I'm on to number 3. And then I was editing the video. Oh. Not sure who's getting yelled at. Somebody is. I think it's an animal, unfortunately. I think it's a dog. It might be the neighbor 2 doors down. We're in the country, but we have a lot of neighbors. It's crazy. So, yesterday, I was talking to the farrier because it seems like every time he comes to work with the colt and his feet, the colt acts just a fool, really just acts stupid. And yes, the sun is starting to hit my face. And we were talking about it, and it seems like he tends to forget that he has to stand in mind, and, you know, that Andy's not going to hurt him. And so, doing all of that, he's a good boy. Okay, so, like, at 3 years old, I think he has improved so much. So much. So we met him, let me think, when he was 14 months old. And he had extreme minimal people interaction. And it was through my husband's now ex coworker. And we had gone over to borrow some tables because we do markets every so often. And I didn't have the tables at the time, and money was super tight, so I couldn't exactly afford to go buy my own tables. So his coworker said, yeah, I've got some extra tables. No problem. I'll let you borrow them. So we went over there and we saw the horses, and we got very excited because my daughter obviously very, very much loves horses. And it had been, 5 years-ish since she had really ridden and participated in the horse world, and she had been itching so bad to get back into it. Well, the opportunity for her arose with this boy, and we asked the coworker to speak to his grandfather, who at the time was the current owner of the horses, so the mom and the colt, which that's what we own now, to come over and feed and work with and interact and teach and guide and all that fun stuff when it comes to him. And also work with the mare. And the grandfather said, yeah, I can't get out there very often, so it would be really nice to have the help and for somebody who knows what they're doing with horses. So, cool. He was only like 5-6 miles away, maybe a little bit more, 10-ish. So not far from us. So we'd go every other day and would feed and then work on ground manners and just work with him. And it got to the point where, unfortunately, the grandfather kept interfering with everything that we would do. He was constantly counteracting whatever we would put into Sparky at the time. So, like, my daughter had taught him to back up, and he did amazing listening to her and absolutely just took to her like glue. I mean, literally became like a hemorrhoid, not kidding. And there's the sun. So warm. Anyways, so he took to her like glue and absolutely fell in love with her as his person. And then the grandfather would come in and would change everything up and would, like anything we did, he just, it was bad. It wasn't great. So we'd come back, the every other day, and it would be 3 steps forward, 25 steps back is exactly how it was going. And I was getting frustrated. And so there came a point where the grandfather looked at me while we were there, and he's like, so you want to buy that brown one or the dark brown one? And I was like, no, I'm if I do one, I'm going to do both. I'm not going to separate mom from baby. And there's no way. I'm not going to leave one here and not have proper treatment and health requirements, because the mare is, as I stated before, she is technically lame. She was not taken care of correctly. I believe that she has so her front left leg is not properly in place, I believe, and it's never been adjusted, and I don't have a chiropractor around here that could help me get her fixed. Like, there's literally nobody near. So unfortunately I can't do a whole lot unless somebody can show me something over a video. Who knows? But anyways, that's why the farrier comes, and he helps me with her feet. And I'm going to have to end up adjusting where I'm sitting because, wow, the sun is sweltering. Hold, please, because that way I can adjust and not be blinded. Okay, adjusted. And yes, I do have security cameras, and that's so I can watch my boys when we're gone. But I also have it for the horses and quite a few other areas. But anyways, back to the horses. So, he asked me if I wanted to buy Sparky. And we had already named him, and it had been like, so we met him in August of 24. And then, oh goodness, what was it? By November of 24, like just before Thanksgiving, they were coming home. So it was quite the ordeal to get everything fenced in. At first we were like, well, maybe we can put them in another spot. No, that didn't work, so we just brought them home. So, enough. There's nothing there. Big old protectors. Anyways. So hang on, let me double check. So, okay. So, he asked me if I wanted to buy the Colt. I said no. I'm going to take both. And he just was shocked that I said that. But yeah, I said, absolutely, I'm not going to separate them, so I'm going to bring both home. And he went, okay. So the original agreement, which had us a little frustrated because it was 8 adults and the kids were all around. But between the adults, there was 8 adults. And it was the grandfather, my husband and myself, the grandfather's daughter, and her husband, which were the parents of the coworker, so the ex-coworker. And then the ex-coworker and his wife were there as well, so 8 adults. And we agreed that we were going to take all of the fencing and the electrical box and anything horse-related, so saddles, bridles, tack, you name it, just horse-related things. And then also a trailer. I said I needed a trailer to be able to get them home, so a trailer. And then the horses. And the agreement was $500 for everything, which, I mean, that was a really good deal. Well, in the end, the grandfather pulled back and said, no, I want to steer. Now, he was incapable of handling 2 horses. You're not going to be capable of handling a steer. And that steer would definitely break through that fencing. Ugh. I mean, Sparky was breaking through it, so I can only imagine what damage a steer is going to do. So, yeah. In the end, it came out with a different deal, which, you know, while it frustrated us, it was what it was. So we ended up getting none of the tack, none of the horse stuff that we were supposed to get. We did get a trailer, but they added $250 to it, which I still haven't paid for because that wasn't my original agreement. And I don't feel that I should have to pay any of that because I didn't agree to it. I just said, no, I'm going to take a trailer because I need one for the horses. I have to travel with them home. So, and they never said anything, so it is what it is. I mean, literally, I wasn't going to pay it, and I think they kind of figured that, because we were getting the bad end of the deal as far as, you know, like, you agreed to something and then you're trying to pull out on it, and it wasn't right, so, anyways, he gave us some T-posts to be able to make a fence around our backyard. And the wiring he gave us was just junk, but we made do with it for the little time being. And we ended up buying new wiring because Sparky was doing wonderful with that. So, anyways, because he broke out like 2 or 3 times before training. Yeah, so once we got him home and the constant back and forth of my daughter working with him and then the grandfather screwing everything up and all of that fun stuff was going down, once all of that stopped and his stress level went down, he was so much happier and so much easier at times to work with. Now, mind you, again, they're rescues. Sorry, something's in my eye. So they still had a whole lot to overcome as far as, you know, all the things that they have endured. Like, even there was a night when we were at the grandfather's house, farm. And the mare was choking. And I go, what is wrong with her? Why is she choking? I called up the vet that he was using, who, junk. Just a junk vet, literally. Hi, Bolt. Oh, good boy. He's literally at my feet. So I called up the vet, and it took them almost 2 hours just to call me back. And in the meantime, I'm literally having to rub her throat and work whatever it was at the time, because I didn't know what it was, down, and tried to work with her because she was panicking. And it was just such a bad ordeal. Come to find out, he had given her a cinnamon roll. You cannot ever give horses dough. It will choke them and can kill them. And we got blessed and lucky that he did not kill her that night, because he could have and almost did. His explanation for giving her that cinnamon roll was it was sugar. And I looked at him, I said, never do that again. Ever. Because that was dangerous, and you could have caused way more repercussions than giving her a cinnamon roll is ever worth. So as soon as that had happened, because I was frustrated. I was so frustrated with the circumstance. I was so done. I was like, we either need to get these horses, or we just need to be done with this horse situation. And we determined that it was better to get them out of the situation, so that way we could feel a lot better about their upbringing and their health and all the horse things. So I feel like I have to stop every 2 seconds and throw this ball. Okay, Greasy, that's all. No more. Yeah, so in the end, I ended up bringing home quite the number of T-posts, which I know in the end they cost a lot, but it still wasn't the original agreement that we had said between 8 adults, and I just felt like technically we got screwed over, but it is what it is. So even though we really didn't get screwed over, but I guess we got screwed out of the original deal, and that's why I feel the way I feel. Anyways. So in the end, November 2024, right at Thanksgiving, it was like the Saturday after Thanksgiving, we brought them home, and it took 3.5 hours to load the horses. Now, mind you, my mare, super easy. She's an easy loader, always gets in, never. I mean, she might have a bit of an anxiety because she doesn't realize that she's not leaving or not coming back, because she's been, like jumbled around so much in her life, unfortunately, that it's just sad to see that she gets so much anxiety and doesn't realize that she's okay, So, ultimately, she has been given many promises from me that I will never hurt her, and I am never going to get rid of her, and she is mine until one of us, passes on. And so she has definitely come around, so much so, in the last 2 years, and I'm so grateful to watch how she's just blossomed. If we let her collar come off, she thinks she is the sassiest thing in the world, and she doesn't need to have it on, and she doesn't want to listen, and typical horse. And then if he gets his halter off, Lord have mercy. He thinks he's a wild stallion, and he definitely doesn't have to listen, and it's been an ordeal. So this past November, so 2025, got him to the trainer, which was only 3 miles down the road, used a trailer, and he had to come and unfortunately help us get him loaded, because that boy was refusing to load. So the 3.5 hours, the first time, it was because it was a teeny tiny trailer, and he was small enough to fit at the time. Now he won't fit it. Unfortunately, he's too big. He's literally 3/4 standard bred, 1/4 Friesian, and 16 hands high. Very big boy, and still growing, because he's only 3, so he's a big boy. His birthday is June 2nd, so Yeah, he's 3 now. So, he went to the trainers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lost the train of thought. Sorry. Went to the trainers in November, and the trainer had to come, obviously, help us. And on that 3.5 hours, on the first time, he had never been in a trailer, did not understand what was going on, and did not want any part of the trailer. Let's see that. So that's 2 black, 1 green. So that makes 3 for the day. So I have 2 more to go. So they had to call in when we were loading them the first day to bring them home in November of 2024. We had to call in the horse whisperer. Now, mind you, they had had this person in their back pocket the entire time. Had they had gotten a hold of these people and requested their help, it wouldn't have been 3.5 hours. It would have been maybe 30 minutes, and he would have been loaded, and it would have been great, and then we would have been home a lot sooner, and it wouldn't have been dark, and, just a whole lot of crazy. So anyways, we got him home, and then this past November, training. So then trainer comes, helps us get him into the trailer, because he did not want to load, and it was a lot bigger. I borrowed the trailer from a neighbor way down the road, about less than a quarter of a mile down the road. And she's very nice, and I appreciate all the help she's given, because she let us borrow the trailer to bring him there, and then also to bring him home. So, and that was in January. So he was there for 2 months. Yeah. So November into December into January, and then we brought him home, and whole different horse. Oh my goodness, was he a whole different boy. He was letting the Amish kids ride him, which he's super particular about what can and cannot happen with him because of his past. But the Amish kids were riding him, and they were loving it, and, he was loving it. There was one point where we got there, and one of the kids was on him before we brought him home, and as soon as we were like, oh my goodness, is that Sparky? And got all excited because he was out there running and being just gorgeous. He immediately was like, I'm not working anymore. So it's like, sorry to ruin your ride. But it's okay. The kid he was like, we were pretty much done anyways. And I was like, are you sure? He just tended to just act silly. So anyways, got him home, and then was able to get a blanket on him because it was super cold. I'm grateful we were able to do that, because my goodness, this past winter was awful. The amount of birds that I lost because of the weather was just unfortunate. So grateful that we were able to get a blanket on him over the winter. He tore that thing up. Thanks for wasting $100 there, Mr. Pain in the Butt. But yeah, that was how much it cost us to buy him a blanket just for him to tear it up. But it's okay. He's a baby. We'll get him another one. And that one wouldn't have fit him this year anyways, because he's grown so much, literally, over the years. So, yeah. And then, let's see here. So, he threw his halter. It was a rope halter. He threw the halter over the winter. Sorry if you guys don't want to hear all the horror story, but some people like hearing rescue stories and horses and all that fun stuff. So, let's see. So he threw his halter through the winter and became this wannabe wild stallion, and he did not want to be caught. He did not want to listen. He did not want to mind. And it was like his training that we just spent a lot of money on just went right out the window. And I went, oh my gosh. Like, thanks, Sparky. Thanks so much for that. So I went and I spoke to the trainer, because at the time I was getting my chicken feed from him. And I also buy a full cow out of him each year. So anyways, I went to him and was like, hey, this is what's going on. This is what I need. I need you to come out. If you need extra money, we'll pay you just to be able to come and wrangle him. And he ended up lassoing this horse. And Sparky was just bucking and crazy and mad and just flying around. And now, mind you, Amish people do not appreciate cameras. They do not want to be on it. They do not, no, like, keep them off of it. And I caught, but he also knows that I have cameras. So he knew coming here he would be on camera. But it's one of those where I could delete it if I need to type deal. So anyways, I caught like 3/4 of the bucking bronco situation. Like, I caught the catch, and then I caught him like flailing around, and then all of a sudden it cut out, and I went, no. And then I was able to catch the ending where he was finally able to like walk up to him, and all of a sudden it was like, oh, Sparky goes, oh, I remember this. And then he's been caught ever since. So yeah, we don't want to, at this point, take that halter off. At one point he was double haltered until the rope halter was kind of digging into his face, and I went, well, that's not okay. But again, he's been growing, so I didn't catch it till it was a little too late. I didn't realize he had grown as much as he was. So as soon as I saw it, immediately that rope halter was right off of him, and I left the regular one on. So I'm probably going to have to get another one for him because, again, growing. Yeah, he's going to be a big boy, but he is absolutely stunning, absolutely gorgeous, and he knows it. Absolutely 100% knows how gorgeous he is. We just changed their feed to something that the Amish sell. And let me tell you, the shine, because it's all naturally based feed, the shine that both of the horses have exuded has been phenomenal. And that's in a week. Their coats are stunning in the sun, and just I'm so pleased. So I told my husband that, you know, I'm not buying any more feed for the horses at Tractor Supply just because that has shown to be so much better for them. And I think it's going to keep a lot of good weight on my mare through the winter as well. So anyways, that was quite long. But if you wanted to look at some pictures, I'll have to update some pictures because it's been a minute since I put anything on there. So on Facebook, I do have a page that is for Sparky and Mama. And yes, I have named her Mama. She responds to it, but her actual legal name is Rompaway Beauty. We learned all that because she's got a freeze tag on her neck. And so she is a registered mare. But again, she just really isn't worth anything anymore. And that's just because of what she's endured. So, all that story to say, you can find the story on Facebook under Mama and Sparky's Story. And it's got a picture of them in our backyard. Excuse me, nose itches. I believe it's fibers. Maybe it's allergies. I don't have allergies, so it could just be pollen. I don't know. Anyways, you're more than welcome to go and follow it. I will be sure to post updated pictures of them because I got both pictures of their updated coats yesterday when I got home with more chicken feed. So their picture, you'll be able to see everything. I'm stuttering now, but I think it's more I'm excited that they look so good. I'm very thrilled to see how well they are doing, especially after all this time. But sometimes it takes a little bit to find what you want to find for your horses to ensure that they've got the best quality of life. So, and sometimes it costs a little bit. So anyways, that is Mama and Sparky's story. So they have been here. My daughter rides him whenever it's not sweltering. Like today she will not because it's going to be almost 100. So, and I don't want to give him a heat stroke. So nobody's going to be riding when it's heat ridden like it is right now. So anyways, I'm going to finish this square up and get my nose itched apparently. And then I will be right back because I'm literally on the 4th row. So I'll be here in just a minute. So I will see you back when I'm at the end of this row. Or 5th row. You know what I mean. Alright. We are now on the last green square of the day. And I'm going to cut that carefully with my finger all weird. Alright, so I'll stick that back in my box. Oh, it's sensitive today. I might be doing too much. But that's okay. I gotta keep up with what I'm doing. So, anyways. Now I'm on the last square. And then I'm going to go into the house. I like sitting outside in the first thing in the morning. It's really just calming. Except when the dogs are going crazy. Which at the moment they are not, thankfully. And knock on wood. There. So, but I think I'm going to go in the house and work on stitching the row together, number 1. And then see how long that is and take a video of it. And then, oh goodness, I'm not sure what we have in store for today. There's not much because it's going to be way too hot. A friend of ours is coming later on because she needs something fixed on her car or vehicle. And my husband's a mechanic, so he will do that for her. Ah, bug. Excuse me. Gnats are for real around this time of year. Are horrible. Nose ring. Oh. Okay. I'm better. I think. I hope. So anyways, I will get this going. Yeah. And then kind of go from there. My goodness. I am getting frustrated with the whatever it is in the air. Normally I don't have issues. I think it's just the heat is making everything a bazillion times worse than it should be. So anyways, I should probably water my plants in the garden before it gets too crazy hot. So as soon as I do this, I'm going to go and do that really fast, and then I will be going into the house and not die of heat. That would be great. So I will be back when I am done with this. Alright, this is the last and final square of the day. It is snipped and done. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the day. So we will be back for another session here very shortly so I can work on stitching the first row together. I will make sure to captivate that, and excuse the long story time, but if you enjoy any kind of rescue stories, I'm sure you would enjoy that. So be sure to like, subscribe, follow, share, all the fun things. And don't forget to go and look at the page on Facebook so that way you can see the pictures of the horses if you're that interested. And I will see you on the next one.